All right, now on to Part C, because we have the
I know you're
last
stressed
two.
already. I know you are stressed already.
Jules, I know it's hard for you to understand because you only have 2 World Cups at home, but we've got twice as many. We can be very zen about this.
We don't count the one in the
right?
30s. Do you know that? Yeah.
I got you count
don't
whatever
count
you like.
30s.
We've won 2 World Cups, so I'm okay with that. I'm comfortable with that. But I do look at this and I say, obviously, Italy and Portugal on paper heavily favored, and the easy narrative here is that the last 2 European champions, or the current European champions, against Cristiano Ronaldo and Bernardo Silva and so on, and Fernando Santos. I think that's one factor. There's just going to be so much pressure. But let's take a step back, because these teams have to get to the final. We've seen Italy underestimate opponents. We've certainly seen Portugal underestimate opponents. Italy, North Macedonia, you don't want to underestimate North Macedonia, but I think it's pretty obvious. Italy at home in Rome, they have to be favored, right?
Yeah, huge favorite, of course.
When you screw this up, you just all resign and go home. And
if you don't beat North Macedonia in the semifinals, you don't deserve to go to the World Cup anyway. It's just
exactly.
As simple as that.
So just over, right?
Yeah, completely. And it would be very disappointing, big blow. But if you can't be back-to-back Northern Ireland, or be in Belfast, and then at home North Macedonia, you just don't deserve. You don't belong at the World Cup. So,
and if you miss 2 penalties against Switzerland and fail to beat Bulgaria and all this other stuff,
yeah. So on the back of all of that, you would not deserve to go. However, they're big favorite, and rightly so. There's a lot of links between the 2 countries, because there's a few Macedonians who played, obviously, like Elmas, like Pandev before, so they will know each other quite well. But the pressure will be all on Italy. Nothing on North Macedonia. They get out, it's normal. They go through. They beat Italy. This is the greatest game in their history, the greatest win in their history, even better than when they beat the German and Jogi Löw a few months ago. So I just don't know how Italy are going to cope with that kind of pressure, considering Mancini said before, for example, that anxiety got to them, during the World Cup qualifiers, that pressure got to them, and that they didn't cope well with it. So let's hope they learn that lesson and be ready to go for that game against North Macedonia.
Yeah, I thought it was really interesting when he said that, because in my lifetime, I think anxiety and pressure really rarely get to Italy. Normally when Italy are beaten, it's because they're simply not good enough, not because they feel, if anything, they tend to perform better when they're under pressure and less well when they think that, they're all that. Yeah. After the experience they went to, I don't think they'll be thinking they're all that. Hopefully they'll have the right, hopefully from my perspective, less so if you're North Macedonian, they'll have the right degree of pressure. Portugal and Turkey, obviously Portugal are at home. Turkey traditionally do not travel particularly well. I think Turkey are a talented side or I thought they were. They let me down at the Euros. They let me down a little bit in qualifying. I just look at this and I say, there's no way Portugal can get this wrong again, right?
I think
they got to be heavily favored.
I think this is one of the worst draws, I have to say, because
really?
On one hand, you favor it, and on the other hand, in a way, Portugal don't like to be the favorite. I don't think currently, with the struggles that they've had in the game, the bad results, all of that, I don't think if it suits them to be super favorite or ultra favorite or even just favorite. And I think for Turkey, they're the perfect underdogs, the perfect team that you said, Portugal should do it. But the Turks are going to be so up for it, so motivated, so aggressive. I can bet you that a lot of the stadium will be filled with Turkish fans. And then suddenly it looks like the perfect banana skin for Portugal, who already are not too much in confidence when it comes down to the national team. Fernando Santos, as we said, certainly I believe should not be in that position anymore. There's been too many bad things since he won that Euros in 2016. And you could easily see them struggling to win that one. They might qualify and go to the final and meet Italy, probably. But you could also see them struggling and even not making it, to be fair.
I think the tricky thing for everybody in this competition is going to be there's no warm-up games between now and March.
Yeah.
So you're going to have a couple training sessions. You're going to have to pick on form, and it's all going to be in those 90 minutes. And this puts a really, really big onus on the managers, I think, in terms of getting it right, especially the managers of bigger teams. I still think Portugal beat Turkey. Yeah. And I think we're heading for an Italy-Portugal final. And then from there, even though it's in Portugal, maybe that is where the pressure comes in. Cristiano, whatever else. I picked against Italy, I think, in every single game at the Euros, but that rule applies for the Euros. I think different rules apply for playoffs. So, yeah, I'm going to pick Italy to advance out of this quartet. I'm going to pick Sweden from the second pathway. And I'm going to pick, simply because Poland away to Russia, I just have a bad feeling about that. And from Group A, just a tad, I think if Austria can do it, I think Austria are there. What about you? I'm assuming you're going to go with Wales from Path A, yeah?
Because of Mrs. L, I have to go with Wales, and I believe in the boys and in Aaron Ramsey. We trust. So here we go. Wales in Path A. Path B, I want to believe in the Ibra magic. At some point, at 40 years old, I can sort of lead this team. Not even maybe, doesn't have to carry it, but lead this team towards the World Cup, his last World Cup for sure. So I go Wales, Sweden.
Don't say last World Cup for sure. You don't know. You don't know.
You never know. You know, lions never die or something.
Exactly.
Like and then Path C, because you're my brother from another mother, and I believe in you and your country and your people, I'll go for Italy and Roberto Mancini.
Thanks so much for watching ESPN on YouTube. And for more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for premium content and live streaming, subscribe to ESPN Plus.